Hey, what's up DIYers? Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking dishwashers today. In the event that your dishwasher is humming, buzzing, or grinding, we're going to talk about a couple parts that may be causing it. Let's go take a look.
All right, DIYers, inside the kitchen now. This is our Whirlpool dishwasher, and we have a grinding noise while it's running. And in the event that you have a grinding, humming, or buzzing sound, hopefully we're going to help you figure out how to pinpoint what exact part is causing it. So what we're going to do is grab the Phillips screwdriver and my Buckmark flashlight down here. And at the very bottom, you have one Phillips screw, and on the opposite side, an additional Phillips screw way over there. Go ahead and remove both of those. And it definitely helps having a magnetic bit. After removing those screws, go ahead and push your finger in there, shift the plate over to one side, go to the bottom, and shift it out from underneath the upper panel. And pull that out and set it aside. In addition, between the lower portion of the door and the upper panel are additional screws. You've got one on the left side and on the right. Go ahead and remove those. And as you do this, I recommend having one hand unscrewing the screw and your other hand down on the underside of the panel holding it so it doesn't fall on the floor when you remove these screws. Now remove the right screw. After removing both those screws, the upper panel or plate comes off, set that aside, and we now have much better access to all the parts underneath your dishwasher that could cause grinding, humming, or buzzing as they wear out. Coming down below, let's talk about a few parts that could cause some sounds. This is your motor that connects into the pump housing there, and on the far back side is a large rubber hose. Let me move the flashlight back, and that rear hose is where all the water goes on the lower rear portion of your dishwasher as the cycle goes on, and then it makes its way through the drain housing as we just talked about there. Now over time, the bearings inside these motors can wear out, and when they get to that point, they can make some pretty obnoxious noises such as buzzing, humming, and grinding. So here shortly we're going to see if that's causing these sounds. In addition, on the lower left hand side is your water inlet valve, and that is where all the water enters into your system. And inside here, that little valve over time can weaken to a point where it makes some unfriendly sounds as well as water is traveling through that inlet valve and into the system. So what we'll do is we'll pull the flashlight out and we are going to run a cycle. I've got the dishwasher full of dishes, and I highly recommend doing this when there are no kids or pets around. You do not want them to be near this and touch any of the wiring or any of the parts down below as your system is up and running. And while it's running, for your safety, you do not want to put your fingers, hands, or arms underneath that dishwasher and deep inside while that machine is running. So from here, we will add detergent and start the dishwasher. All right, soap has been added, and I'm going to run a normal cycle. And as you just heard, that was kind of an unfriendly sound coming down below. Again, keep your distance. And I'll shift the light in place, and you may need to wait a few minutes. What's happening right now is the system is filling with water through that inlet valve, and that's not making any sounds. So that tells us our inlet valve is perfectly fine and not causing any issues. So with that said, chances are it's that motor right there, and that motor is over a decade old. We'll wait a few minutes, allow it to start, and see what it sounds like. Alright, so inside here are moving parts. You can see that inner part right there moving around, and the motor itself doesn't sound too loud. However, inside your pump housing is an impeller, and chances are we might have a worn out or broken impeller. Again, the impeller is inside the housing, and the shaft or rod on the opposite side of your pump motor is what spins that inner impeller. So again, our motor sounds pretty good. As you can see, it's spinning pretty efficiently with no sound. So what I'll do is I'll keep an eye on it over the next few minutes. If it gets any louder, I'll do my best to film it and let you hear what it sounds like. All right, DIYers, the pump has turned off. It is continuing its cycle. We're not convinced it is that motor. The sounds from that motor are pretty normal. As you can see, it just turned back on. So what we were thinking is we have a bad impeller inside that pump housing. However, for your convenience, we are going to replace several parts. We are going to replace the pump motor, the housing, the impeller, so you can get a good understanding what those parts look like and how to properly and safely replace them. So in the event that you want step-by-step guidance on how to replace that lower motor, housing, impeller, definitely check out the link scrolling above. Again, you may find it helpful. Hopefully this helps. Do us a favor, below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to to the channel, definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We would really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. And here's my thoughts. That impeller gets stuck every now and then, and sometimes it is obnoxiously loud during the cycle. And as you can see right now, it's not that loud. So it's in its early stages of complete failure. In other words, it is working intermittently and getting stuck in place. And when the motor down below turns on to spin it, it takes a little bit of time to break it loose and have it begin spinning. As you heard, the second I turned that knob to normal and started the cycle, it was a very unfriendly sound. And believe it or not, it has made that sound during the cycle, and that is very unfriendly listening to from the other room.